Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Erin and I will be your intuitive host as we look at the current energies for our earth signs, which will include Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's begin with our first sign, Taurus. So, hello to our Tauruses, our practical and generous people. Let's see what the cards are saying for you this week. Starting with the Hermit, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Fool. So starting out with the Hermit, the Hermit does represent solitude and inner wisdom, needing a break from social activity. So it's always good to take time for yourself, make sure that you are getting that alone time, that me time. But the Queen of Cups actually speaks to emotional intelligence, strength, strong psychic connection to a specific person. So it is saying that you would consider the needs of family and community when you're making plans. So having that right there with the Hermit, I think this is going to be a week, Taurus, where you need to think of yourself a little bit more, where you do need that me time. You are generous, but this week I think that generosity is going to be a little bit more turned inward for your inner wisdom, your contemplation, a retreat for you. So the family, the community, that compassion and the strong psychic connection, those can all still exist for you, but they're just not going to be as prevalent for you this week because you need that alone time. You need the time for yourself. The Six of Pentacles is speaking of gifts and generosity. Bonus, some sort of bonus for you. It can be material, but it doesn't need to be, and it's often unexpected. And you, Taurus, can be the giver or the receiver. But in this situation, you're both going to feel like you won't feel obligated to the other because you'll feel very happy to have done it or to have been part of it. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is saying to have curiosity, a time of curiosity, perception, and diplomacy. So this might also be a good time to take on a new study or begin training for something new, an apprenticeship of sorts, but hands-on learning. So I think that the hands-on going along with that alone time, maybe during that time, I know when I'm by myself, I love to work on jewelry. I like to make like the beaded bracelets. Sometimes I get into the chain and stuff, but it's very therapeutic for me, and it's something I love to do by myself, something I can do by myself. So maybe this is the time to take on a new hobby, Taurus. Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles represents good luck and prosperity. And here we are learning to enjoy the little things. So making sure that you enjoy the reward of the work you're doing right now, what you are involved in right now. You're learning to accept and appreciate that. Noting and paying attention to the fact that is success in itself, and that way you'll always feel like your success is assured. Then we have the Ace of Wands. Excuse me. With the Ace of Wands, it represents inspiration, potential new beginnings, creativity, new ventures, and expansion or growth. So keeping in mind the community and family, what they need, in addition to the opportunity for you to have some alone time, some me time this week, picking up a new hobby or learning something new. This speaks to that as well, because it's saying that you are actually inspired and new beginnings, new ventures, learning to do something new. And then with the Six of Cups that we have here, the Six of Cups, The Six of Cups speaks to happiness and sentimental things, that your past can be a positive influence. So thinking of good times, maybe this is a time for reflection while you are by yourself, thinking about the good old days. I really enjoy that too. And that's something that's fun to do with your family and your friends as well. So that might be something that can bring you out of that hermit mode, out of that alone time. You can reflect alone, but it's actually more fun, I think, to reflect with someone. Then we have the Ten of Wands. With the Ten of Wands, we're talking about a burden, like work being too much for you. So that, again, goes back to needing that alone time and putting your family and community in perspective, making sure that you make time for your leisure life as well as your work life. You don't want to become a workaholic. That is not a good idea. Work is important, and it does brings you to what you need, but you also have to remember that leisure time is equally important. You need to have time for the good things in life. Enjoy the money that you make. I mean, if you make money and you don't ever use it or enjoy things outside of it, that's not much joy, not a very fun life, not a very good life. So this week, remember to balance your work life and your leisure time, or your leisure life, and make sure that you make time for yourself this week. Definitely need some alone time. And then the Fool, our final card for the Taurus reading. The Fool represents a sense of wonder, so that does tie into the nostalgia and the sentimentality that you're feeling this week, the past that is a positive influence. The Fool also encourages you to have that energy and that ability to take that leap of faith, and it's a positive condition for success. So the Fool definitely gives you that energy and gives you that carte blanche. It gives you the ability to reach for the success. All of these things in combination, Taurus, just remembering to make time for yourself, be mindful of your family and your community. Don't work too hard. This week, definitely balance. Definitely think about what you're doing. How much overtime are you doing? Definitely be aware of that. So that is what I am seeing for our Tauruses this week. Let us move on to our Virgos. So for our Virgos this week, and we know that our Virgos are very meticulous and very critical. So let's see what the cards are holding for our Virgos this week. So we have the Four of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the King of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Empress, and the High Priestess. So already we can see that there's going to be some brave and brash and just full court press activity with the Knights going on here in emotion and in finances. The Knight of Cups is the one that's representing flirtation, saying that this is a time for you to be flirty, a time for you to seek out some romance and affection. A strong rush of feelings is definitely what is in store for you this week, Virgo. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is speaking of action and good luck on the horizon with money or careers. And the results of past efforts are going to come to fruition. Something that you've been working on from the past is going to come to fruition this week for you. You're going to see something happen with that, because we know that the Knights are very movement oriented, very forward, bold, and strong. Then we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, an emotional card. With that emotional card, we have the boredom and the contemplation, the distraction, feeling like in a relationship your material needs are being met, but your emotional and creative ones may not be. So just beware that there's no monotony setting in. This is a great time for it to manifest. So be careful, be mindful of that. Make sure that you are, well, the Knight of Cups is saying that flirtation. So definitely remember to be flirty, especially if it's someone you've been with for a while. Make sure that they feel like you almost feel like it did when you were dating or when you were beginning to date. Take that time for yourself and for your partner. And then we have the Eight of Swords. With the Eight of Swords, that is speaking to right timing, the right timing and sticking with it. So I don't really see any issues with that one. I think that with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, that it seems like you are going to be moving forward, doing what you're supposed to be doing, and moving forward. So the Eight of Swords is really not, in my opinion, it's not really speaking to needing to stick with it, but the right timing is always a good idea. So definitely make sure that before you decide to go forward with something, before you decide to talk about something, make sure that it's the right time, right place. Then we have the King of Cups. With the King of Cups, that speaks to enjoyment and blessings and just good feelings abound. You are in a period of time where you feel like it's a very benevolent influence on your life right now. You're very happy, things are going well. So this week is just a good week for, well, it's definitely a good week for this situation with your love interest. Being, remembering to make them feel like you are still enamored, and that that's the right timing for it, I would think. That's a good way to put it. With the Five of Pentacles reminds us of that insecurity and isolation, the feeling of financial loss. There really is no other, well, there was the Knight of Pentacles in here. So with the Knight of Pentacles also telling you that you will have security and stability and good luck is on the horizon. So that feeling of loss or feeling like you might not be where you would like to be financially, I think those two kind of balance each other. You'll be all right, and finances are going to be okay. With the King of Wands, an action card, the King of Wands represents vision and leadership. So, this might be a time where you show your natural leadership, and that we really haven't had too much with business, but I would think that this is going to be with business. With those pentacles, perhaps, talking about being able to move forward and just having the vision and the compassion to be a good leader. So this is a time for you, Virgo, to step up, be a leader, be a driving force for your work, and make that financial gain, that good luck that's on the horizon, bring it to fruition with your natural leadership. Then with the Empress represents creative force, rich abundance, and domestic harmony. She allows you to stay true to yourself while nurturing others. Also very good combination with the King of Wands, where it's saying that you are a natural leader. So those two do speak to each other. Then we have the High Priestess, another strong female. So the strong male, strong female presences, whether that be you, this might actually be you in this case. So for our guys out there, this is saying that this is your time to be a natural leader. Not saying that it can't be a feminine influence as well, but thinking that this might be your time to be a leader. And then for the Empress, that does speak to our females, our female influences. And of course, that domestic harmony, we're hoping that's going to be both the male and the female working toward that domestic harmony. And then the High Priestess, who I was about to talk about, represents intuition and insights. and spiritual development. So this is a time where you should be listening to and learning to trust your own intuition, being receptive to messages from your higher self. So if you're able to do that, I think that everything else will fall into place. So the High Priestess is a very good way to end that reading for you, Virgo. Learn to trust and listen to your intuition and be receptive to messages from your higher self. That's a great way to go into the week. A great way to achieve all these things that the cards are saying that are going to happen for you, Virgo. And breathe some life into and make sure that you're paying attention to your love interest and your emotional connections, even friends. If there are friends you haven't seen in a while, give them a call, see what they're doing. This is a time to remind them that you miss them, or that you enjoy spending time with them, and it's time to spend time with them again. So that is what the cards are saying to me for my Virgos this week. And now we are going to go on to our last earth sign, our Capricorns. Now, Capricorns, we know, are very dutiful, very loyal, very, I don't want to say selfish, but definitely of a mind of what they want. Definitely want what they want. So this week for our Capricorns, we have the Four of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Magician, the Hanged Man, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Sun, the Two of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So lots of cups in this. So we know this week for Capricorn, it's going to be a bit of an emotional week for you. Relationship strong week for you. The Magician speaks very strongly to that kind of, well, I would say more so the ability to be in connection with your intuition and creativity. The Magician is also a bridge from the ethereal plane to physical plane. So love and relationships also seem, well, in my opinion, they seem very ethereal. So on that note, with the Ace of Cups being the strongest of those cards, saying that it's definitely speaking to love, new emotional experiences, and your psychic ability, that fresh start, and being able to just move on from any kind of love loss you've had in the past. Also, the Eight of Cups, talking about a turning point, seeking meaning and a decision to make change for the better. So this is a very good card also for your week. You're actually going to be able to make the change for the better. Something that needs to happen is going to happen this week for you, Capricorn. We also have the Page of Cups. With the Page of Cups, we are talking about guidance and friendship, connection, and good news of a relationship. So that change for the better is probably going to have to do with a relationship that you've already been considering, or considering how you're going to handle it. So this week you're going to have some resolution in the relationship area, whether it be love or friendship, and we know could even be business. Even though it's cups and it's emotional, it could be a business decision. And then we have Four of Wands. Wands are an action card, and they represent teamwork and satisfaction, a sense that all is well. This could also be a time where you're considering romance, strong romance, or marriage. So if you've been considering something like that, Capricorn, this might be a good week to move forward with that. You also have that Ace of Cups, that really strong love and emotion card in your reading this week. So if you have the feeling that the time is right, this might be the time to propose. Or if you're already married, this might be a time to kick up your relationship a notch. This might be a time to renew that romance. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords represents choices, and indecision. So it's a need for the need for negotiation and compromise is going to be strong this week, and you're going to have to be able to compromise or negotiate in a situation regardless of your feelings about that situation. And then we have the Hanged Man. Oddly enough, this is saying this is a time for waiting, or for a temporary pause in your life, time to meditate on something and being able to embrace that stillness. So just step back. Now, if you're considering that Four of Wands, you're thinking about that statement about maybe proposing, Capricorn, this might be a good time to evaluate, to step back, embrace the stillness, think about that person that you're considering. Is this a good time for you to move forward with them? Then we have the Two of Pentacles, stating that it might be an uncertain time for business or finances, but wanting to strike that balance, needing to get that balance in there. And then Page of Cups. With the Page of Cups, well, we already spoke about that, with the creativity and the good news about your relationship. Also speaking to the Four of Wands and the Hanged Man with, should we ask somebody to marry us or not? And then with the Sun represents happiness and success, security, and well-being. So again, you have another card that is giving you that sense that all is well. So overall, for you, Capricorn, this week you are going to have that sensation, that feeling like all is well, and very strong in the romance department. You have a lot of big things coming up in the romance department. Remember that. So just remember that essentially we all have a divine purpose. Embrace the universe and live your dream. Until next time, here's wishing you health, prosperity, and positive relationships. Farewell to you, my earth signs.